Welcome amigos to my very first VFX breakdown video, and I'm excited about this one, and we're going to go over several of the effects that are seen on the Instagram accounts of Boxing Loop and House of Highlights. And remember that life is truly a gift. Make it count. Let's start with the first VFX breakdown, and this one is a particle system. And anytime you are using a particle system, one of the best, and especially my go-to, is trap code particular. So let's go to my layer with trap code particular. Let's enable it, and you'll see it on Canelo. We'll play it back so you can have an A/B comparison. It's pretty close. And let's quickly go into some of the properties and the values that I use in particular. Let's solo this so you can see it on a black background. It is using a point emitter, 500 particles per second, and the behavior is continuous. Now, you'll definitely want to ramp up the velocity. You can see that I ramped it up to 300. And for the emissions extra, we want to start already at 50%. Now, for the particle itself, it's a relatively very small lifespan, only half a second. Now, for the particle type, I selected glow sphere, but you can also use sphere, and you can also use cloudlet. Let's go back to glow sphere. Now, whatever particle type you use, definitely play around with the feather, the size random. And the color is pretty simple. It's just animating the color of the particle over time. You can see here, color has the stopwatch enabled, and down in my timeline, we're going from yellow to light blue. Let's go to light blue to red, and I'm using hold keyframes. So the values, let's go back to hold keyframes. The values will hold until it reaches the next keyframe. And I also use an add blending mode. This is what it looks like when it's normal. And when you use add, you can see that it blends a lot better with the footage. Let's break this one down. This one, Canelo gets hit, the video freezes, there is this explosion. It's most likely RTFX or something very similar to the RTFX, which is a cartoon Japanese anime style of explosions, electricity, energy. It's really cool. I use it a lot for the NFL. So the camera freezes, the video freezes. We use something similar to RTFX. There's a camera shake, which is most likely done with the wiggle expression. And there's also a separation of the red, green, and blue channel, either an RGB split or chromatic aberration. Let's recreate this. Let's go to this layer, which is my freeze layer. And this layer is parented to this null object, which I labeled shake plus zoom. If we go down to the position property, you can see that I added the wiggle expression. And remember that wiggle takes two parameters. The first one is how many times you want to shake or move per second. In this case, I added 12 times per second. And the second parameter is the amount. In this case, we're working with a position property, so it will be in pixels. What I did instead is I linked it to this slider control. And the reason is so I can control when I want to stop this wiggle, this shake. And when the amount is 0, that means that pretty much your wiggle is off. So just 2 keyframes from 15 to 0, and you can see that it's off. And for the scale property, very quickly just pushed in. Now for the explosion, like I mentioned, most likely using either RTFX or something very similar to RTFX. And this is one of the RTFX. This is from the electricity collection, and this one is from the energy collection. And when you're using these type of stock footage, what I like to do is combine several of them to make like a mega hit. So here's the first one, which is okay, but when you combine it with another one, it's more impressive. When you're working with RTFX, definitely combine several to create like a mega hit. And then we have an adjustment layer. Let's enable it. And this adjustment layer, you can use Red Giant's universe RGB separation or the chromatic aberration to give it that RGB split. And that's it. That is the second VFX. And this one is actually pretty simple. It's just using stock footage, and it looks like it's from Video Copilot's Action Essentials collection because of the sparks, and this fire looks like it's from a torch. Let me show it to you. Let's go to my Video Copilot folder. We'll go to the sparks. Let's play it back so you can check it out. And that looks really similar to these sparks that are coming out right here. You can see right here, they're coming out. And let's go to the second one, which is a torch. Go back. So it looks like they're using the torch and the sparks compositing on the glove. And the first one is an explosion, quick explosion of fire. So it's using 3 different type of stock footage. So that is a breakdown. Let's recreate it. We have the freeze right here. We have the freeze. And we'll go to the torch. And I'm using the add blending mode. Let's go to the sparks. And then let's go to the fireball. And for the fireball, it's another Video Copilot that I'm using. It's not the exact same one. Couldn't really find it. There's a lot, but something very similar to this one. And all you need to do is just composite, scale it down, rotate it, change the blending mode, and that's it. That is using most likely Video Copilot Action Essentials collection. And the last one, let's enable this layer so we can check it out. And this looks a little more complicated than the rest, but it's fairly easy. I'm going to break it down for you step by step. Let's hide this. Let's recreate it. The first thing that you need to do is freeze the background. And a lot of the effects that are in Boxing Loop is on a freeze frame. And the reason why is it's easier to composite to do effects on a freeze frame versus rotoscoping. It's a lot quicker as well. So the first thing is freeze the background. And what I did is brought down the exposure to -5 and then added motion tile. Because all the layers are connected to this null object, which I labeled wiggle plus push. And if we go down to the position property, it has the wiggle expression. And I also used the scale property to zoom in. After you freeze your video, you need to cut out Canelo, which is the boxer. Just use a pen tool, create a mask, cut him out. And I also went to the hue and saturation, went to the red channel, and I adjusted the red hue and the red saturation just to kind of make it pop more. Now, after you cut out Canelo, you can copy the mask and you can paste it on a solid layer and then apply the saber from Video Copilot. And I simply use the energy preset. Didn't tweak any of the parameters, just use the energy. And already it's looking pretty good. Now all these layers again are connected to the wiggle, to the null object where I have the wiggle expression. Behind Canelo, add some embers. And these embers are from Action VFX. Let's go to this Rising Embers. And this one is a 2K, so it's pretty big. And then add some fire and put it on top of Canelo. Now the fire is from Action VFX, as you can see in this big watermark. I don't own this stock footage, so I simply downloaded the preview file so I can see how it looks. But you can use any fire and just put it on top. Then afterwards, you need to definitely mask out the opponent. You can see here, just a quick mask for the opponent. And now for the eyes, that is using optical flares. And let's go to the options, and it's pretty simple. It's only using a glow, glint, and streak. You can go into the settings, adjust the settings, and also adjust the global parameters. And that's it. That is for the eye. And then optical flares has a category for flicker, and just adjust the speed and the amount to make it flicker. Once you have one, you can simply make a copy for the second eye and just move it over. And then finally, you can add chromatic aberration from Red Giant Universe. And also hue and saturation to saturate it, make the fire really pop. And that's it. That is the VFX breakdown of this effect.